see me this morning, YouTube? Good morning, it's the old soldier coming at you from Robeson County, North Carolina. Kind of cloudy today, that's why the ambient lighting ain't as bright as what it normally is. I don't know if it's going to rain or not. I'm going to go back and check the weather forecast. I think it's supposed to rain this afternoon. Honestly, the clouds look snowy, but it's just not really cold enough to snow. If the temperature dropped, it would be, though. They sure look like snowy clouds. But anyway, T.G.I.F. Thank goodness it is Friday. Yeah, that word, Friday. Coming up onto the weekend, folks. Tomorrow, weather permitting, we're going to do our survival video, for the first one in the new series for Saturday, once a month. Tomorrow we're just going to go over how to build some expedient shelters if you find yourself lost in the woods, kind of thing. So, tune in for that tomorrow when I get it out, after I get it all edited and everything. Ought to have a lot of fun with that, as well as trying to impart some knowledge on you. But other than that, hey, it's Friday, last day of the week. Monday's going to be hectic because it's the first day of the new semester at school. So we're going to be picking up students and see how that'll go. It's always fun, new semester. But anyhow, anyway, In lighter fun news, Miss Ocasio-Cortez bought herself a puppy. And PETA is up in arms. Can you imagine that? PETA being up in arms against one of their own. Ha ha! I think it is hilarious. Because it just, fun Friday. Getting off on a political tangent. Shouldn't do that. My apologies. But I just thought it was funny that she went out and bought a $2,000 dog. But it was funny when she got sworn into office, she didn't know if she was going to be able to afford to stay there or not. And I'm thinking to myself, you wanted a pay raise, but you can afford a $2,000 dog. But anyway, I digress. But moving right along, like I said, fun Friday. What to say, what to do, what to talk about. Any number of things can come to mind right now on this drive to work. I don't know why I'm so ecstatic today. I'm tired as all get out because whatever this junk is in my blood been flaring up this week. I just haven't had any energy. I don't have any energy now, but for some reason God's put it on me to be kind of hepped up. Don't know why, but hey, might have been that Black Rifle coffee. This old soldier might have made it a little extra potent today. But, yeah. That's right. You need to stop because that school bus is stopped. Got a stop sign out. You could have stopped a little further back. One thing irritates when people creep right up on a school bus with them when it's got a stop sign out. In reality, they ought to stop at least 100 feet back. But hey, anyway, I can't teach the whole world how to drive. Okay, I know one thing I'm gonna get out of there. There was a radio commercial I was listening to this morning when I was getting ready to go to work, and it was an advertisement for military and veterans to apply to this particular college. I forget the name of the college, but the whole thing is if you want to get ranked up in the military. I cringe when I hear that term when it comes to military. It's a pet peeve of mine, folks. In the military, you don't get ranked up or ranked down. Just putting it out there. In the military, you are either promoted or demoted. Yeah, the red lights are from the school buses in front of me. You're either promoted or demoted. There is no ranked up or ranked down. I don't know why, but it's just a pet peeve of mine. Save the ranked up crap for the sports standings and whatever sports you watched. But in the U.S. military, members are promoted or demoted. Preferably you want to be promoted, because if you are getting demoted, that means you have done something naughty, bad, screwed up, something, and they're taking rank away from you, and all kinds of good stuff. Now, I was fortunate in my military career. I was never demoted. I had a couple stagnations in my career where I did not get promoted. One of which was from pay grade E4 specialist to sergeant, pay grade E5. That's the other thing. Pay grades in the military. You have your E grade, which indicates the rate of pay that you receive, and then you have your actual rank. Now, a pay grade corresponds to a rank. I guess you could say vice versa, but when you address somebody, you address them by their rank, not their pay grade. Also, when referring to somebody, you refer to them by their rank, not their pay grade. But all too often, I'm an E7 in the U.S. whatever. Thanks for letting me know how much money you make. And that's just not proper protocol. But case in example, there are certain E grades that could be applicable to more than one rank. When I went back on active duty in 1994, I went back in as a specialist in the Army, which is a pay grade E4. And after about 2 years, I was laterally, meaning that it would be across. It was a lateral promotion to corporal, which is the first of the non-commissioned officer ranks in the Army. It's a lateral appointment. I'm still the same pay grade as a specialist, but by the virtue of my appointment, I hold a position of leadership and therefore given certain powers and authorities commensurate with that rank. And there's always been the argument that the specialist does not have to obey what a corporal says. Then there's the argument that a corporal is a non-commissioned officer and a specialist is not. Therefore, a specialist is thus subordinate to a corporal. And that is the truer meaning, if you follow me. But like I said, the other in the Army is Master Sergeant and First Sergeant. Both of them are pay grade E8. They are senior non-commissioned officers. The difference being is Master Sergeants are normally going to serve in a specialized position or in a battalion, brigade, or divisional regimental staff. Whereas a First Sergeant, he's the senior enlisted advisor to a company commander, who's normally a captain. In an aviation company, there'll be a major, but normally a captain, and responsible for anywhere from 120 to 150 personnel. First Sergeant is basically responsible for the administrative and day-to-day activities and routines of a company. Part of their job is making sure the soldiers are up to date on their shots, that they're, going to the appropriate schools, and also the additional training position or additional positions within a company or additional duties. Making sure you've got qualified and trained personnel to fill those. Ensuring that training is being conducted. Those kinds of things. When they go to the field, First Sergeant's responsible for making sure that, the troops are getting fed, that they're getting their mail, those kinds of things. And also, when they set up at a field site, responsible for kind of coordinating the headquarters defense element. If they set up and stay overnight somewhere. So, then there's E9, Sergeant Major. Now, in the United States Army, you have a Sergeant Major, which is three stripes, 3 rockers, and a star in the center. And that type of sergeant major is going to be serving in a staff function. Then there's the Command Sergeant Major. Now, there's a special program in the U.S. Army for Command Sergeant Major. Don't ask me how it works. I was never one. And honestly, got to say, I really didn't want to be one. But they basically have to apply or be accepted into the Command Sergeant Major program. And theirs is 3 stripes up, 3 rockers below with a star and wreath around it. They act as a senior enlisted advisor to a battalion, brigade, regimental, division, or group commander. That's what they do, and again, they oversee the placement of soldiers within the subunits of that battalion, brigade, division, what have you. They're the senior enlisted advisor to the commander. They're also personnel managers. They got to make sure that each company has the requisite number of riflemen. They work hand in hand with the adjutant's office, i.e. the S1. Responsible for the professional development of all the non-commissioned officers within a unit, that kind of thing. And then there is the Sergeant Major of the Army. That is the highest senior enlisted soldier in the U.S. Army. And his or her sole function is to act as a senior enlisted advisor to the Chief of Staff of the Army, advising him or her on all matters pertinent to the soldiers of the United States Army, ensuring that training and development stays on par with everything that's going on. So, variations, pay grade, and rank, folks. Now, other branches, there's similar things that go along, but I'm not going to get into theirs because I wasn't in the Air Force, I wasn't in the Navy, and I wasn't in the Marine Corps. And Lord knows I'm not even going to begin to talk about the Navy. You got petty officer, but a lot of times they refer to their people by their rating. Somebody from the Navy can address that in a video response if they want. Oh my. It looks like they have had a fender up here on my way to work. And oh my. I can't see with the bright lights flashing. If someone's going to tell me if I can get around or what. Cement truck, get on your side of the road. Whew. Them lights kill you. Well, I'm sitting here. Alrighty. Okay, it's not really a wreck, but it looks like somebody has got himself stuck in the ditch, and okay, there it is, truck in the ditch. Don't know how they managed to do that. I'm not going to ask. I'm going to go to work. Bless their heart. Anyway, whew, now my eyes are full of spots. Back of that fire engine had some really bright lights. But yeah, that was, and that kind of got off on a tangent here, but hearing that radio advertisement this morning about getting ranked up, oh, I cringe. It's just like I said, it's one of my pet peeves. You get promoted in the military or demoted. And again, you don't want to be demoted if at all possible. Because usually you've royally screwed up or you've done something really bad. Now, have I recommended soldiers to be demoted? Yeah. But you can't just tell the commander I want that soldier demoted. It goes into what's called non-judicial punishment, or Article 15 of the UCMJ. And normally that's for infractions that don't quite reach the level of a courts-martial, but they still need to be adjudicated and punished. For example, I had a soldier that decided he was going to call the platoon sergeant a whole lot of colorful names in front of a whole lot of people. Can't do that, not nice, it's disrespectful. All because his pass got denied. Right? He felt the platoon sergeant was responsible for denying that pass. And, well, okay, you come here, hero. You're being counseled for disrespect to a senior non-commissioned officer, using foul and abusive language, blah, 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 blah. Detective commander. That one went to what was called a field grade Article 15. So we had to go to the battalion commander, which is Lieutenant Colonel. And the soldier got 45 days extra duty, 45 days restriction to the barracks. And we dropped him 1 grade in rank. And he forfeited 1/3 of 1 month's pay for 2 months. That's the other thing. There's other things. Being late to formation. In the civilian world, being late to work gets you fired. The military, they'll give you multiple opportunities before they take action. But for case example, if first formation of the day is 6:30 in the morning, your butt better be standing out in the formation area at 6:15. I always told my soldiers I'd be 15 minutes early. But sometimes you get a guy that decides he's just not going to get up, or people that live off post trying to get in and then wake up late, whatever the case may be. The first time you'll give a soldier a verbal warning. Second time you'll write it up and you'll give them corrective training. But corrective training has to be to the so-called not infraction, but area that they're lacking training in. And honestly, so many soldiers complain now, it's, the whole extra training thing, I think, has gone out the window. But, it's a way of trying to get a soldier mindset correct so you'd avoid having to give them the Article 15 process. But you got some knuckleheads that they push the button and they just want to go full out and go for it all. But anyway, by the time it gets to usually about the third time, you're putting on a count statement recommending non-judicial punishment under the code, Article 15, the Code of Conduct, or not Code of Conduct, under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, goes before the commander, and it's basically like a hearing. The commander acts as the judge and the jury. However, he takes input from the soldier that has been charged, the first sergeant, the soldier's chain of command, i.e. his squad or section leader, platoon sergeant, team leader, etc. And it goes forward from there. The beauty about non-judicial punishment, it's not a permanent, per se, part of your record when you get out of the military. What I mean by that is that it's not an offense that stays with you the rest of your life. Whereas a courts-martial does. If you are convicted in a courts-martial, that record will follow you the rest of your days, because you have been tried and adjudicated in a federal court of law. It's just a military court. So yeah. But on the reciprocal, recommending soldiers for promotion was always a rewarding thing, because you get those stellar performers, and recommending them for promotion and seeing them get promoted is always an awesome thing. Now, in the Army, E1 to E4 is basically by appointment. Even though it's a promotion, it's really an appointment. Then when you start competing for your NCO ranks, sergeant, staff sergeant, you have to go to, in the Army, a promotion board. And there's certain things. You have to have so many years in service, so many months in your current rank or grade. Called the time and grade requirement, time and service requirement. Sometimes you can waiver one or the other, but not both in a lot of cases. You go to the promotion board, and in the Army, a promotion board is usually going to be all the first sergeants of a battalion and the sergeant major, who sits as the president of the board. And they will all ask you a series of basic soldier questions. They can't ask you specific MOS questions. Why? Because not everybody in the unit is of the same MOS. Granted, if you're in an infantry unit, the bulk of everybody's infantry, but you still have your what we call soft skill MOSs. Your chemical guy, your supply sergeant, your mechanics, your medics, your admin personnel folks. So they have to, all the questions have to be same across the board. But there's a wide plethora of subjects that can be asked on a promotion board. To include current events. I had a first sergeant who was from Tennessee, like myself, who, when I went to the staff sergeant promotion board, he had current events, and the first question out of his mouth: who won the ladies' college basketball championships and blah, 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 blah. First sergeant, that would be the lovely ladies of the Tennessee Vols. No further questions, Sergeant Major. That was the only question he asked me, because he knew I was going to get it. But I had one during Desert Storm. I went to a board in the desert, and I was asked who won the Super Bowl from 2 years previous. Only reason was because it was the same team that was going to the Super Bowl again, I think it was. So those are some things that how the Army does stuff. But it's getting promoted or being demoted. Now, back to the non-judicial punishment. The Army and Air Force calls it Article 15. The Navy and the Marine Corps call it Captain's Mast, if I'm not mistaken. And I think the Coast Guard calls it Captain's Mast. Of course, though, if you're on board a Navy ship, now they've got some, Navy can still confine you to your quarters, I think it is, and put you on bread and water for like 3 days. The Army doesn't do that. Guy gets Article 15, he might be restricted to the barracks, but he's allowed to go to the chow hall, places of worship. If he or she needs toiletries, they can be escorted to the Troop PX or the nearest shopette to garner those items. Now, our supply sergeant always used to order sundries anyway, so all that stuff would be in the supply room for someone that gets Article 15. But the Navy, though, bread and water, whoo, that's rough. Rough. Wouldn't want to be that person. Now, I've never heard of anybody getting that in the Navy, but I just remember reading about that. So if any of my Navy viewers out there, if you know anybody that ever got Captain's Mast and were sentenced to bread and water, let me know down in the comments section below. Also, all my military viewers, tell me what you think about the terms that we've talked about today as far as ranked up versus promotion and demotion, or rank, that's, like I said, just my pet peeve, but that's what I've always referred to it in the military. And civilians are the worst ones, I guess. Well, I say civilians. No, if you don't know, you don't know. But so part of this is to kind of educate people on what the proper term is for the military when advancing your career. It's being promoted, and if you screw up, you could get demoted. But anyway. Oh my goodness. Time to get ready to go to work. Finish lesson plans for today. Classes start Monday. Looking forward to it, though. Kind of good to get back to work today. Or this week, I should say. But anyway, we're going to change the oil here soon. But yeah, like I said, folks. But if you like what you saw in the video today, just sound off down in the comment section below. Hit that like button. If you're a first time viewer, hit the subscribe button. And if you think I got good content, hit the share button. Again, tomorrow I'll be looking for the video. It'll probably come out sometime tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening once I get the editing done. I'm just building, an emergency survival shelter if you find yourself in a situation where you're lost and need help, that kind of thing. And that's going to be a monthly series. This month it's going to be on shelters. I think next month I'm trying to show you how to make a smokeless fire. If I can remember how to do it, it's been a long time. Probably another good reason to have this series. Get all this stuff fresh back in my mind. But anyway, folks, God bless. Take care. Charities I'd ask you to support, tunnelsandtowers.org, Folds of Honor, Pin Up for Vets and Valor for Veterans. They can't do it by themselves. So anything you can do to present to help them, they would appreciate it. I'd appreciate it. Vendors, if you live in my area, Money Quick Pond, Rayford Road in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Robert's Custom Woodwork on Etsy. Got to go check him out, folks. He's got some phenomenal plaques and things that he makes. Go check him out. And then Unsung Patriot. And if you like my poetry, that kind of thing, just check out my books and my Amazon link below. And also, help me out. Get one or two of my T-shirts. The Teespring link is down below as well. But until tomorrow's video comes out, folks, God bless, take care, and enjoy your Friday. Oh, another thing before I go, don't forget tonight, 8 o'clock, Georgia Shooting Connection with JH586. Be there. Don't miss it. Live show tonight. Go check him out. And until tomorrow, God bless, take care. It's the old soldier out.